Welcome to Spirit and Soul podcast. Today we are at Tales of the Cocktails right here in New Orleans, and I am here with Spirit and Soul. And what's really cool about Spirit and Soul, curated by Jen and Joe, based in Las Vegas, we have the same names. That's our connection. And I'm like, yo, we have to do something together. So. Yeah, so this is very, very exciting. But they have a Korean inspired pop-up. So Seoul is S-E-O-U-L, correct? Right. So yeah, this is really cool. How are you guys feeling today?
We're doing great. Just finished our pop-up yesterday, so we can relax a little bit.
Okay. Party. What was probably the most memorable moment from your pop-up yesterday?
I think for me, it was probably just like the support we've received from, the community. This kind of started out of a desire to really express our culture in a way we haven't quite seen yet in the bar space. And so having those people, not just from the Korean community, but from, all the Asian communities and even, the Black community, the minority communities that are really just like, man, we love this. We want to see more of it. That for us was, or at least for me, was probably the most special part.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun to see going to different cities because every city has a different culture, and just being able to share our creation with our heritage, Korean heritage, too, with everyone in different cities. I think it's pretty neat when people give us feedback on like how it tastes and the creativity of everything, and some people are very surprised by all these like new flavors and things that we're trying to experiment with, and I mean that gives us all the happiness and all the support from the community is just amazing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I went to the pop-up, guys. Cocktails were amazing, and I will say, I cannot help it. My favorite is that Montenegro shot with the kimchi consomme. Sit me. It's so good. If you know, you know. If you don't, please find the next pop-up that they're at. Along with all the rest of your cocktails too, which were so great. But yeah, that was really cool. So let's get into your name meaning. I'm interested to know, like, what was the inspiration with Spirit and Soul?
Yeah, so how it started out was before me and Jen had gotten together and started this, I had kind of a business idea. And the idea was a two-parter. Essentially, the front would be like a little retail store that sold like pickled stuff and ice cream called Sweet and Sour, so like the S&S theme.
Okay.
And then the bar behind that would be called Spirit and Soul. Spelled that way, referencing Korea, that kind of Korean heritage. And then because pickles are such a big part of what we are in Korean cuisine. So having that little storefront, the sweet, the sour, Spirit and Soul, S&S. So that was the idea. And then, of course, a play on words.
That
soul.
Is dope.
Yeah,
that is dope.
We're actually curious about
mine.
Yes,
it's more like so I'm a very much like spiritual person, and so it's like as much as like, okay, we're in the spirit industry. I'm playing more in like spirituality with mine a little bit, and I'm like spirit and soul because I put my spirit and my soul in everything I do.
No, I love that. Yeah.
And what's so funny, I did an event, or I had a client with Adobe once, and they were doing, I think this might have been Asian. Pacific Islander month, and they wanted to do themed cocktails for their office in Atlanta, and I did a cocktail and I called it Spirit and Soul, spelt like you guys, but I hadn't met, this was like a couple years ago, so it's like I hadn't met y'all, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It had yogurt, is that how you pronounce it?
Yogurt, that little
the little cup.
Probiotic.
Yes, that, a grapefruit cordial vodka. It was really good. Anywho. Yeah.
It would have been amazing if maybe we you both thought of the name at the same time period. I don't know.
Wait, when did you think of your?
I think I had this idea 2018, 2019.
Okay, you had it before me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like more 2021.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
Yeah, no, I love this. Okay, you also have like this hand gesture that you do.
Yes, absolutely.
What is this about? Like, what does this mean?
So this is called the finger heart, and I'm not sure exactly where it actually originated from, but this is, a lot of Koreans do this.
Okay.
It's essentially you're holding a heart at the tip of your finger. So if you see, that's like the end of the heart, so the heart shape would be like that.
Yep.
And it's just to show love everywhere we go.
I love it because it's so low key. It looks like you're snapping.
It's like a little snap.
But you're not. That's perfect. Okay, so I did I did get to go to your pop-up as well in New York
Yes.
at the Brooklyn Convent, but I'm interested to know between Tales and being in New Orleans and then your pop-up there, like maybe what's the two big differences like with it? I'm sure they both had their own challenges, but like what was like the big difference with those two pop-ups?
So for the New York, it actually had to be my first solo without Joe.
Okay.
We started this last year of September. So we've been doing every pop-up together, but at the New York one, he couldn't make it because he was in Hawaii for, was it military?
Yeah.
Duty. Okay. So I had to kind of come up with the menu and kind of coordinate everything with the bar. Our friends at Bateman's in New York, they're actually a really good friend of mine, Natasha. She actually competed with me and she won a competition, and that's how we connected. So it was just all overall, even though I've never actually been to New York. It was my first time or second time.
Really?
Yeah, before I was like really young, so I don't really remember. Okay. So we connected and we're like, hey, maybe we can do one in New York. But Amaro Montenegro is a competition that I actually competed in. And Tad Carducci, who's the brand ambassador for Montenegro, he was like, hey, why not do a Spirit and Soul pop-up in New York? So that's how we started everything and started coordinating with Natasha, the Bateman's group. So yeah, this was essentially my first solo. It was hard, very hard, because Joe does a lot of work at the pop-up. Like it's a team, so we're a family. We help each other out when it comes to the cocktail creations, to like from start to finish. And definitely we saw a lot of support come to New York, which I'm very grateful for. It was a lot of work though. So I mean, him just being there really like kind of helps me out. So I missed you. That's what I'm trying to say essentially. Being at Tales, I mean, you can talk about Tales. This was a great turnout as well.
Yeah. No, I would say for us, it's really the balancing act. Like we're very lucky in that we're both good at different things. Like having a military background, having done a lot of those things, like makes me organized in a lot of different ways. But Jen's very much we both are personable people, but I think she's very much that go-getter in terms of like networking with people, getting them to show up, being that slightly, brighter light and being a little more enthusiastic about that.
Bubbly.
And I love that because I can be that way, but it's not naturally who I am. I tell people I'm an introverted extrovert, and I think she's more the extroverted introvert, actually, funny enough. And so it really works out where, she really does like shoot for the moon sometimes, and I'm that kind of grounding force. But I love that because it allows me to think like, should we be doing more? Should we be asking for more? Even when we're negotiating with, anything. So I think it's very important that we have that balance. So anytime one of us isn't present, it's going to be the balance isn't going to be quite there. So so it's always fun.
That was really well said.
But she crushed it, and the feedback was amazing, and I couldn't be proud. And she actually did a pop-up in Italy too as a part of that Montenegro competition. So because I was invited to that as well, and I was like, I'm going to be in Hawaii. We're trying to open restaurants because. Speaking to the whole pop-up thing, it's like this isn't our sole jobs. We both have full-time jobs. We both are on the board for the USBG. So
in Vegas?
Yeah. So I'm the president, and then she's a board member.
Oh, wow.
So we both have a lot going on external. So that's the thing for anyone out there that's looking to start a pop-up. This isn't something you're going to make money on right away. This isn't something that, you're definitely going to lose money at first a little bit. And so it definitely has to be like, it can't just be like, I want to do this for fun. Unless you genuinely just have money to throw away.
Love
you got to love it.
You have to love it.
Starting a podcast, same thing.
Oh my God.
You got to, first 10 episodes, you're like, man, those views ain't hitting like I thought they
I mean, I still feel that way. I still feel that way, but I keep doing it because and showing up because I actually enjoy it. Exactly. And I think like learning from people in our industry directly is just so cool, and I just don't mind putting a camera in front of us while we have that conversation for other people to get the same questions answered. I think a lot of people don't ask questions. I'm not scared to. I'm very like you. I'm very open. I'm bubbly. I'm networking. So I'm like, if I'm gonna be that person, well, give me a camera and let everybody else hear the conversation.
No, I hate that it's like come to this point where like people don't want to feel stupid. And it's
I am
there's
so
no such
okay
thing.
with that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me I'm dumb. Please tell me what I'm doing
and
wrong
also,
so I can be
exactly,
better.
like, you want me out here looking stupid? No, okay,
Yeah.
well, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm very much that person too. So yeah.
You definitely have to be a go-getter, and I love that you're so passionate about the project. I think it's all in a sacrifice on how much you're willing to actually put in, all the effort that you're trying to put in to make this happen. And at the end of the day, you're not gonna, the results are not gonna show right away.
Yeah.
But like after all the time, sweat, and hours that you put in, eventually, I think we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
I think I almost have one question because I feel like you've answered a couple already. Just this back and forth. I talked about the collaboration and who plays what role, but you kind of mentioned that already. Unless there's more you want to add on that, as far as like menu curation, logistics. Who's
I think
or
stylistically, I get to do a better job of communicating. That's something, if you have a partner out there, by the way, like communication is key when we're setting up these events, and just to make sure we're on the same page, because at the end of the day, this is our artistic expression of what we want to do, and so making sure that we're both aligned. Maybe there's some brands we don't want to use, and so I want to make sure that I'm being cognizant of that. Or if one of us are working with certain people and brands, we want to make sure that it all aligns with our values and what we're doing. So that's always a huge key for. I think we both do, especially at this point, we both do a good amount of the coordination and logistics in terms of where we're going to do pop-ups and the connections. I had a very good run of competitions probably 2 years ago to last year, whereas Jen is a bit more recent, so that's been kind of a blessing in getting us into a lot of spaces because it's a little more relevant, a little more up to date. So,
do you feel like that helps with getting those brand collaborators?
1,000%.
Okay.
1,000%.
So, guys, that's a great way to get sponsored.
Yeah,
your pop-up sponsored is competitions.
We're very lucky that she won Montenegro. Shout out to Tad because he.
Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you so much. Shout out to Tad because a lot of brands, even when you win, they're just like, okay, thanks, bye. We're done. Especially what we're seeing in the modern trends of 50 Best and Tails Awards, you almost have to do pop-ups and collaborate, and a lot of these brands only want to hire, the top 50. They want to hire that top 10, and you'll see it. And at Tails, and it's great, right? You get to see these bars, Sip and Guzzle, Takuma from Martinis, Julia Momose. All these people are incredible, but it's really hard then to break into that unless you have something that shows, and even again with competitions, I was a global finalist a few times. A couple of those brands never, even though I reached out and asked for very little, they were like, yeah, all right, bye.
Okay.
So it's not always about winning the competitions, but I will say going to those competitions and putting on a good showing, even if you don't win, and being humble and, at least encourages them to want to work with you because they're like, okay, this person's a good representation of what we might want to see. So we're very lucky in that.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay, I have one final question. So what's your goal with your pop-ups? What exactly are you trying to achieve? And what would you want your attendees and your guests, the people that are big fans of your cocktails and of you, what do you want their takeaway to be when they leave your pop-up?
So, the whole reason, I think I want to also answer the menu creation process.
Yes, okay, let's start there first.
So when we do R&D, we try to come up with challenging flavors, or whether it's a certain Korean dish that no one has ever made it into a cocktail before. So we kind of throw all these creative ideas to see what works and what doesn't, and we love a challenge, and that's the whole R&D. I think that's probably the best. We try to work together, but it's kind of hard sometimes because we have hectic full-time schedules. But we kind of throw flavors around, be like, okay, what will work? And we kind of discuss, well, we should have a sour cocktail to a highball carbonated cocktail to a spirit forward cocktail, and kind of we have to balance each other out, and let's see if we can make a well-balanced menu for the next pop-up. But every time we're just trying to throw out adventurous ideas to see what works and what doesn't. And at the end of the day, the guests tells us that it's the feedback that we get from all the people that come and support to tell us, hey, this actually tasted good. And we actually get really honest feedback, which we are very grateful about. Okay. So they'll be like, okay, this, I don't know, this might need a little bit adjustment to it, or maybe we can try it with a different spirit next time. So, we've been getting so much feedback on that it's it's a learning process for us, and it's I don't know where I was going with this.
No, because originally I asked about the menu curation and like what roles
yeah.
you guys played.
Yes,
that's good to know.
But our end goal, I mean, we definitely want to share as many of our craft as much as possible throughout, and I mean, we definitely have a same goal in mind. We would love to have our own speakeasy as the brick and mortar that he was talking about.
Where would you like it located?
Good question. Great question.
I think Vegas makes sense because it's easier, you know, but we were having a conversation last night at dinner, and one of them were like, go to New York, do it there. They were like, you know, and so it's definitely scary though, you know what I mean? Going to a city neither of us have lived in, like, so, and for me, I've told her, like, I don't want to dump all my, I don't want to save for 5 years and then dump all my own money in the hopes that it works out.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to do this, I want to play with someone else's money,
Yeah.
Don't use your own money. There's plenty of people out there. If your concept's solid and stuff, and at the end of the day, you have a solid plan in place and they see you're serious, I think there's always a way to find that money, or to do it in a more creative way. But, yeah, I think for us at the end of the day, it's all about, we're not getting any younger. So it's, I don't want to bartend. I don't want to bartend till I'm 70.
Yeah.
Like, I love what I do, but
it can be very laborious to our bodies.
Yeah. Even now, with military background, I'm 33 and like, I already feel like my body's breaking.
God,
so I'm like,
my
I can't do
my
it.
knees, like, Jesus.
But I think for us, it's, what's really encouraging about the whole process, of course that's the likely end goal, but I think we're very open to exploring what that looks like.
Okay.
Whether maybe that turns into a residency or maybe it stays a pop-up concept and it turns into something that we actually make money off of. But ultimately, I think the biggest thing that we hope people take away from our pop-ups is just, one, that they appreciate and can learn a little bit about our culture and heritage and where we come from. But also, I think the most inspiring thing has been other people reaching out and being like, oh my God, I'm going to start my pop-up, or now I'm going to express myself. And it doesn't necessarily have to be through cocktails. Some people have said through food, through podcast, whatever. And I'm like, even if they, don't fully turn this into a business or a lifestyle, I think it's so important to find that creative expression in a world where, people... I think social media has made things so small that people forget to really look back to where they're from. Like the travel, and I love to travel. I love experiencing other cultures, but I'm forever grounded, growing up in Hawaii to a first generation Korean mother that like, this is who I am. This is the core of who I am. And I get to express that well. And so encouraging others to kind of reach back into their culture and heritage and not getting lost in exploring the other ones is so important.
Yeah, that's really good advice and a good reminder. Like, and also like, just looking around you and you'd be surprised around how supportive your community is, like your direct community. I mean, like your friends you went to college with, your people you used to work with, your mentor here, your neighbor, like those are the people that are going to like really show up and support and help it grow as well. So that's really good.
Yeah, I think it's ultimately spreading the inspiration to everyone.
Yeah.
And I mean, we get like messages from all the people that showed up, or even just watching our stories on Instagram. I would go through the messages and they're all like, oh my God, how did you get inspired by this cocktail? Like just yesterday, I think someone asked me, did you use watermelon rind? Like what was the actual process of creating this cocktail? And we love sharing that knowledge. And I just want to keep inspiring.
Those cocktails yesterday were a hit. Like I was surprised because some of them I can be very sensitive to a lot of things. So remember I asked you about, was there caffeine in the tea? Like I can't have caffeine. But even then, you guys had the matcha cocktail. I wanted to at least taste it. So good. Like the aperitivo cocktail. I love that too. Like you guys are doing some really cool things. I think you had a great array of options for everyone there, and the energy was perfect. And then, like, do you guys make the playlist too? Like
she
the
did
music?
That's all her.
Yes, the playlist is always great too. Like you were playing a little bit of
R&B.
You were, and in Atlanta, you were playing Usher, an Atlanta song. And I'm like, okay, like it was so good. I love it. So yes. Thank you guys for being here today.
No,
this was perfect to connect with you guys. So if any of our listeners here want to follow you guys on Instagram, share that handle?
Our handle is spirit.n.seoul. I know there's Spirit and SOUL.
Yeah, we're going to tag you so they'll see it too.
Perfect. Spirit and Soul.
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about their cocktails and their next pop-ups, definitely follow them there. But that wraps up for today's episode. Thank you guys again.
Thank you so much for having us.
This has been a treat. Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.